Humphreys.
This is a fair and balanced budget for a modern Ireland, so I'm delighted to introduce my department's budget for 2019 to the Dáil. I have secured an increase in my department's total exchequer allocation by 9.1% year on year, up from 871 million to 950.2 million. This is made up of a record €620 million in capital and €330.2 million in current funding, which includes an increase of €65 million and an increase of €14.2 million in current, €65 million being the increase in capital. I had three key areas of priority: Brexit, regional development and innovation, all important in their own right but also fundamentally connected. I was determined to deliver a budget with Brexit at its core, building on the many measures we have already introduced and mindful of the evolving needs of businesses. I am delighted to announce a longer-term loan scheme worth up to €300 million, which will support capital investment by businesses to get them ready for the post-Brexit environment. The Future Growth Loan Scheme will be jointly funded by my department and Minister Creed's department. The scheme requires legislation which I hope to pass before the end of the year. I have allocated an additional €1 million in capital funding to Intertrade Ireland, an increase of 17.5%, and that's to support businesses on both sides of the border. I am also allocating an extra €8 million to agencies and offices of my department to enhance our global footprint. It includes additional current funding of €3 million for Enterprise Ireland and €2 million for IDA. As Brexit will have implications for our regulatory system for business, I am also allocating additional funding to a number of regulatory offices and agencies of my department. Regional development has never been more important with Brexit on the horizon. I am announcing an additional €5 million capital funding to enhance the programme of supports of our 31 local enterprise offices, up 22% on 2018 to a record €27.5 million in 2019. This will include a new customs training programme for all businesses, exporters and importers to be rolled out in partnership with Enterprise Ireland. The IDA's regional property programme is critical to encouraging more foreign direct investment into the regions. I have allocated €10 million to the next phase of the IDA's regional property programme. The funding will be used to start building advanced facilities in Dundalk, Monaghan, Sligo and Athlone, as well as Waterford, Limerick and Galway, in line with Project Ireland 2040 and additional needs identified by the IDA. I am also announcing an additional capital allocation of €2.75 million to Enterprise Ireland to start developing regional innovation and technology clusters with institutes of technology right across the country. I have secured funding of €175 million for a new phase of Enterprise Ireland's Seed and Venture Capital Scheme out to 2024, and I am doubling funding for the online retail pilot scheme to €1.25 million in 2019. In addition, I will be providing €1.8 million in additional funding over the next 3 years for Irish design and craft makers to drive exports in the sector. Moving to innovation, which is equally important in the context of Brexit, it makes businesses, of course, more resilient. My focus is on continuing to drive towards positioning Ireland as a global innovation leader. Our capital allocation for innovation programmes in 2019 will increase to almost €370 million. That's a 12.7% increase on 2018. A major capital investment next year will be €20 million to support the rollout of Phase 1 of Disruptive Technologies Innovation Fund. Funding allocated in 2019 will ensure that successful applicants can begin to deliver projects that will help us all to better prepare for our future. I am allocating an additional €10 million for a new dedicated programme for PhDs and research masters through Science Foundation Ireland, together with €6 million to boost existing research programmes. Furthermore, I have allocated €1 million to the Tyndall National Institute in Cork, Ireland's leading research centre in integrated ICT hardware and systems, and I put in an extra €2.7 million for Ireland's membership of the European Southern Observatory, together with €500,000 towards a membership of the European Space Agency. Finally, just to say that I have allocated additional funding to the Office of Director of Corporate Enforcement to support the establishment of a statutory agency. I'm also increasing funding to the Workplace Relations Commission to provide for the extension of its remit in 2019 to cover An Garda Síochána and the civil service. So my department is currently developing a new cross-government strategy for the next phase of Ireland's economic development, the Future Jobs Initiative, together with the Department of the Taoiseach. The programme, which focuses on quality jobs, improving productivity and building resilience in our changing world, was at the foremost of my mind when allocating funding within my department for 2019. In prioritising 3 key areas of Brexit, regional growth and innovation, I am confident that our business community will be best placed to meet both the challenges and opportunities ahead.
Minister Doherty.